Alright guys, day 97. So yesterday we were talking a little bit about the desires being of the world, in the world but not of the world, which is one of my peers, which is what one of my peers likes to say, in the world but not of the world. Attachments, desires, and the emotional mind, and the instability of the mind, of the center, of yourself. Today I found a short passage that I'd like to read. It's from page 257. It is number 23, Anthology of Taoist Village. It says, the real meaning of Buddhahood, which has been handed down to us, is observation is stopped. What is observation? It means to place my vision warmly on the ultimate goodness. What is stop? It means to place and stop my real attention at the ultimate goodness. And Dr. Yang continues, and he says, let's see, there are observe three observations, San Guan. Observe falseness of all natural laws, and observe between. It is to observe non-emptiness and non-falseness of the natural laws. This means to keep the neutral point. It also means double observation, ziguan. So, let's see. In order to reach this, you must first have observed and analyzed all of the events and natural occurrences. Once you have seen through all of these in the mind, nothing will bother you. You'll reach the stage of Guanzi. Simply paying attention to cultivating your self-mind until the stage of ultimate goodness. When you pay attention to all of the goodness, then nothing bothers you. You're kind, righteous, and gentle. Then you have no inner conflict in your emotional mind. That means you're free from the affinity of emotions and desires. I really like that. Stop observation. So this also points to Tai Chi, because in Tai Chi you have seemingly divisiveness. When you observe, the tendency is to make a judgment. So you say this is square, this is round, this is triangle, right? And each of those, they go into their own specific hole, right? And those are absolute. So the idea is back to the observation. So the observation and the neutral point. Trying to refrain from the tendency of saying, well, this is good, this is bad, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, right? Because in life we know that there's a lot of gray area. How do you compromise this in the mind? And why is it important? So when we observe with the tendency to judge, this is the root of emotional distress. And this starts to, if we deem something as good or something as bad, if it's something as good, then we desire it more. If something is bad, then we'll shun it. We'll, vilify it, right? What we see though in Tai Chi Chuan with the Yin Yang symbol, that two seemingly opposites are part of a whole. And this is what we forget. Good and bad, right, wrong, right? And each of those elements has a little tiny seed of the other in it, right? So we see that totality, and how something that seems divided, seems separate, are actually part of a whole. And this is actually the judgment, but the observation is the spiral. In my Rooted Coil sweatshirt, you see the spiral, which is actually the Tai Chi symbol, the spiral. And what does the spiral represent? The spiral is what's the saying? The only constant is change. So the the spiral represents flux and adaptation, evolving, evolution. So this is where we seem to want to be in our observation, in that flux state. If we're in that flux state, then we don't go to that divisive state, the yin-yang symbol. We don't go to the judgment and say this is that, this is this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, black, white, left, right, right? If we're able to stay in that state of flux, if we're able to stay neutral, then we are able to almost free ourselves of the desires, of attachments, of the emotional mind, right? And so this is the waste of energy when we go to the emotional mind and we're dwelling on the good, we're dwelling on the bad, and we want more good, we want less bad. This is all draining our energy when we just can stay neutral about everything and say, well, it is what it is, right? Okay, well, let's get started. I'm gonna keep this a little bit short, and I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna sit with you. Alright, guys, I'll let you go. Be back tomorrow for day 98. Yep, day 98.